I have learned so much about money during my journey to entrepreneurship that my mind has been blown. I was just doing it all wrong. The stuff I know now, it was never taught to me in school. The people I hung around, they didn't know about money. But as I began to read more and become a part of the personal finance community, the way I think about money and use money has all changed. My husband and I are on track to become millionaires, and I want to share with you 5 different areas you should focus on when it comes to your money and what you should do with it. And hopefully this will give you some things to think about and possibly make a couple of changes. I was inspired to do this video by my friend Nate O'Brien, who did a similar video on money goals, and I'll put his video in the description below so you guys can check that out as well. During this video, I hope you can check each one of these off and then let me know in the comment section below how many you're already doing or that you want to start or just thinking about. I'd love to hear from you guys. All right, so the first thing you should work on if you don't already have one is to create an emergency fund. So if 2020 has taught us anything, it is to prepare for the unexpected. No one saw Corona coming. An emergency fund is a separate savings or bank account used to cover life's unexpected events like losing your job, car repairs, medical bills, and honestly, just the list can go on and on. So experts say you should have about 3 to 6 months of your expenses in your emergency fund. But with what's going on in today's world, it wouldn't be a bad idea to try and save up for a whole entire year of your expenses, just in case. Now, creating an emergency fund is going to be a decent amount of money that you need to save up if you already don't have one. But don't stress about trying to get it all done at once. Set a budget and decide how much you can put each month to reach your goal. Now, if it were me, I would automate the process. I would have that money coming directly out of my check into a high yield savings account or a money market, so I wouldn't get tempted to spend that money on something else, and I could, use this as a way to prioritize my savings. So I'm going to put in the description below a number of different high yield savings account or money markets that you guys should consider putting your money in. And you can let your money work for you. By putting this money into a high yield savings account, you can just let your money work for you and earn money with interest. So definitely consider this as an option if you're not already doing it. You can also get a side gig just to fund your emergency fund. That's how important it is to have one. So I have a list and a video of 15 side hustles you can do from home to earn an extra $1,000 per month or more, and I'll put that in the description below so you guys can kind of get ideas from that. Now, the next thing you can simultaneously do with your money is contribute to your 401k if you work at a company that has one. So a 401k is an employer-sponsored retirement account, and the 2 main reasons you really would want to, think about contributing to your 401k is that 401k contributions are before tax money. So the amount that you contribute to your 401k is deducted from your paycheck before taxes are taken out, which means you are paying taxes on a smaller portion of your salary and your overall tax rate may be lower, which will ultimately save you from paying more in taxes. But quick side note here, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm a blogger and that's how I make money, so I'm self-employed. And I have had to pay over $20,000 in taxes because of pure ignorance. But when you know better, you do better. So I recently interviewed a CPA that will literally prevent you guys from making the same mistakes that I did. So if you have your own business or you want to start one, please check this video out because it will really save you thousands and thousands of dollars. All right, but the next benefit of a 401k is that your employer may contribute to your retirement plan. Now, if they do this is a huge benefit because it's like you're getting an extra bonus. So you definitely want to take advantage of any matching programs that your company does have. The next tip is to work on paying off your debt if you have any. Now, there are different strategies when it comes to paying off your debt. I personally like the strategy where you're paying off the debt that has the highest interest rate. Pay that one off while you're still covering the minimum debts that you have, but you want to focus on the one that has the highest interest rate. When you knock that one down, then do the next one that has the highest interest rate. So you just go on and on until you're done and you're completely debt free. But there's another popular way, which is the Dave Ramsey snowball effect, that works just as well. It just kind of depends on what kind of person you are. And it's essentially paying off your debts from smallest to largest. So you make the minimum payments on all your debts except the smallest one. You want to pay as much as possible on your smallest debt and repeat this step until all your debts are paid in full. Now, the next tip is to put your money into a Roth IRA, whether you can put your money into a 401k or not. Now, anyone can do this and everyone should do this. One of the best ways to save for retirement is with a Roth IRA. And many people don't know this, but you can actually withdraw the contributions that you made to your Roth IRA anytime, tax-free and penalty-free, which is really cool because if you ever get in a bind, you can always use this as a source to draw from, and your contributions and earnings grow tax-free. You can also do withdrawals during retirement, and those will also be tax-free. So that is why you should really definitely consider getting a Roth IRA to just when you're thinking about the future, you want to start now. Now, the maximum amount that you can put into a Roth IRA each year, right now, it's $6,000. And there's a little bit more that goes into it. So I'm going to put an article in the description below so you guys can read more about it and just make sure that you qualify for this, because you do have to make a certain amount of money, or you can't make too much money to put your money into this. So I'm going to put that article in the description below so you guys can see if you're eligible. Now, my husband and I, we invested our money into a Roth IRA, and we put our money into a Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. Now, this is a very aggressive account because it's all stocks, but we're young, so we can take on the risk. But as we grow older, we'll change our portfolio and make it more conservative. But right now, this is where we have our money. Now, I want you guys to know that I am not a financial advisor. I have just done a ton of research, and I really want you guys to do the same to find out what is the best choice for you when you're deciding on, what kind of funds that you should put your money in. Now, the last thing that I have for you guys is to focus on your credit score. Credit scores can save you a ton of money if you have a good score, or it can cost you thousands of unnecessary dollars of your loan if you don't have a good score. Credit scores are all about how risky you are as a borrower. And a lot of people, they just don't care about their credit score until they actually need to buy a house or buy a new car. But you should really think about it now because, if you have a good credit score, you'll pay less in car insurance, for most states anyway, which is something that we all need. So I highly recommend to focus on your credit score. My husband and I, we want to buy a house next year. And because we have a good credit score, our interest rate for our pre-approval is 2.5%. which is crazy low. It's the lowest that I have ever seen. So I recommend you guys check out what your credit score is, and I'll put a link in the description so you can see what your credit score is for free. And then, if it's low, just really focus on trying to get that number higher, because you get so many benefits when you do have a good credit score, like your car insurance, like I mentioned. So do you guys have any of these? Do you have an emergency fund? Are you working on paying off your debts? Do you have a 401k? Do you, have an IRA? And do you know your credit score? Let me know if you guys have any of these things, or you're working on them, or, this is something that you just were a little bit enlightened on. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section below. I also want you guys to work on getting life insurance if you don't have it. One of the things that I hate to see is a GoFundMe campaign every time someone passes away suddenly. Unfortunately, we are all going to die, so this is something that we all need to have. We need to make sure that our loved ones are taken care of and not just stuck with a bill when we do leave this earth. Now, I went through State Farm for my life insurance, and the average cost for life insurance is $44 per month. So it's not a crazy amount, but I recommend you speaking with an agent because everyone's situation is different. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if it gave you something to think about, I'd appreciate if you give it a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on one of my videos on making money, saving, and investing.